Hello, everyone. Oh man, I can't wait to see if this is working or not. I assume this is working. So hi everyone, and by everyone I mean maybe Chiki is here. Am I live? Please tell me I'm live and not just talking to myself. I don't think I'm live. Okay. Oh no, it says I should be. What? Live? Am I live? Okay. Okay, sorry, the biggest puzzle of 999 is figuring out how to stream it. Okay, yeah, I should be live, I think. Yes, okay, I am live. Let's go. Yay, okay. What's up, gamers? We're back with 999, and we are gonna get ourselves out of this kitchen. Dude, soup plates are stupid, just get a bowl. You really are ignorant, aren't you? Excuse me, princess. Oh boy, hexadecimal. Oh, okay. So the A, B, C, D, E, F. So it's 1, 2, 13, 14, 15, 16. No, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it's base 14. Okay, so in that case, 9A, whoops. 9AF, 10. Nine plus F would be. Oh, he's done it for me. Okay, 9AF10, I should remember that. Dude, the fact that she said that makes me so sure that it's lead, because she's the sort of girl who will be like, did you know lead allegedly could make food taste slightly sweeter? Let's try it. Okay, I do not know this code. Oh, a wooden plank. Oh, it's a briefcase. Ooh, a knife.
A rusty knife? I don't think we'll
It's
be
okay,
able to
Cheeky.
use
We
it
can
while it's
teach
like this.
way about knives later, about hexadecimal later. The knife seemed important, Junpei thought, but it wasn't going to be much use the way it was.
It's futile.
Futile?
You know, a waste, useless, pointless.
Oh. Any particular reason you wanted to bring that up?
Oh, no reason really. I was just thinking about futility.
Huh?
She wasn't making much sense. Junpei tried rephrasing his question.
Why were you thinking about futility?
Well, it has something to do with the Titanic.
Oh my god.
The Titanic?
Yep. Have you ever heard the story that the sinking of the Titanic was predicted?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. There was a novel that had a bunch of stuff in it that described the sinking of the Titanic before it actually sank.
The reason this was because even back in the day, people were like, well, if you're going to brand your ship as unsinkable, what if it's sunk though?
Yeah, that's the one. The title of the novel is Futility. It was written 14 years before the Titanic sank, but...
I know. I mean, I didn't know the name of the book, but...
How do you know that, but not the name of the... whatever?
The story was the same, right? It was just like what happened on the Titanic?
Yeah.
Well, I heard it was all a hoax.
A hoax?
I heard that the stuff that matched up to the Titanic so well was actually added after it sank. Apparently, the only thing that was the same originally was that a boat ran into an iceberg and sank.
But the novel was published in 1898, 14 years before the accident.
Like I said, that was the first print of the book. 14 years later, the author heard about what happened to the Titanic. He figured that was his chance, you know? He just went back and changed some stuff in his novel, so that it matched the Titanic exactly.
Really?
I love that she's so conspiracy peeled, but she doesn't know the, like, I feel like if you're as conspiracy peeled as she is, you kind of know the, like, rebuttals to the basic theories, which she just doesn't seem to know.
Really? There's no such thing as premonitions or any of that stuff.
For a moment, June looked very unhappy, more so than Junpei thought was normal for such a discussion. But it lasted only a moment. With no apparent reason, she suddenly looked up at him, alarmed.
But, that wasn't the only book that predicted the Titanic sinking.
It wasn't?
Yep. There were 2 other similar stories written by a man named William Thomas Stead.
Is this guy real, chat?
Both of them before the accident. One in 1886 and one in 1892. Stead wrote 2 stories that had striking similarities to the Titanic disaster.
Again, chat, this is a classic example of if people write enough books, something will come true in them.
In one, 2 ships collided. Many of the passengers died because there weren't enough lifeboats. In the other, a ship collided with an iceberg and sank.
Okay, so the first one is just someone pointing out that no one puts enough lifeboats on a ship. And the other one is someone thinking, wow, icebergs are big and scary.
I don't know. I mean, I'll give you that it seems a little weird, but...
I love you, Akane.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't too uncommon for ships to hit icebergs back in the day, or even other ships.
Right, I knew you'd say that. But what if Stead had some sort of special powers?
Oh my god, what?
To be more specific, what if he had the ability to do automatic writing?
What? Automatic writing? Wait, are you talking about when someone's possessed by a spirit and then they write a bunch of stuff without knowing what they're writing?
Yes.
Junpei, how do you know this?
What do you mean, yes? That stuff's a load of bull. Okay, let's say, hypothetically, that automatic writing isn't a total load. These guys still couldn't have predicted the sinking of the Titanic. When this Stead dude wrote his thing, nobody had died on the Titanic yet. So if automatic writing is about being possessed by dead people, who the hell possessed him so he could write that stuff?
That's not it.
What's not it?
Stead wasn't possessed by a spirit. He was doing the possessing.
Oh.
What?
What are you smoking?
William Thomas Stead was a passenger on the Titanic. He just wrote down what he saw with his own eyes 20 years before it happened.
Yeah, I can tell that it's all going to come together and it's going to drive me insane. He decided it was probably best to say nothing. What June was saying was insane and utterly absurd. If he tried to take what she was saying seriously, he'd go mad.
Well,
Junpei smiled uncomfortably.
Well, why don't we talk about this some other time, okay?
Huh? But...
Her voice trailed off and she glanced at the floor, troubled.
Come on, let's get back to it.
Junpei tapped June gently on the shoulder and awkwardly reached around her to pick up the knife from the box. Oil. Dude, we could take this back to the room with the double beds. Dude, excuse me, you're making me want to go on the TV tropes page, but I cannot go on the TV tropes page because I have not finished the game. It's driving me crazy. Oh, what's this? As Junpei walked into the room, a blast of cold air washed over him. Almost instinctively, he folded his arms tight across his chest, doing what he could to conserve body heat.
Oh, it's cold in here. What is this place?
Are you blind? It's a freezer.
Santa's teeth had already begun to chatter. Hardly surprising. Dude, you know that is like the thinnest shirt you've ever seen. The freezer was far too cold for someone dressed as he was. Lotus, however, was in an even worse situation.
No way. That's way too cold for me.
Dude, this is terrible.
I'll freeze solid in seconds.
I'm so sorry, Lotus.
Sorry, but I'm afraid I'll have to pass on this one. I'm going to leave the rest to you.
And with that, she ran out of the room. As Lotus left, June came in.
Oh, whoa. It's really cold in here.
White puffs of steam hovered in front of their faces as they talked. June had already started to shiver.
Hey, you don't need to be in here. You had a fever just a little bit ago. You should stay outside. We got this.
No, I'm fine.
No, see, Junpei, what you don't understand is that the cold will help with her fever. It will bring the fever down. So really, she should be spending all the time in the freezer.
My fever's gone now.
But...
Junpei had scarcely opened his mouth
Huh?
when the thunderous sound of metal upon metal rang out from behind them. In unison, they spun around to find that the door they had only recently come through was closed. Junpei rushed to the door.
No! Why did it suddenly close?
Desperately, he grabbed hold of the doorknob.
Ah!
It was cold, beyond cold. Merely touching it was painful.
The knob's frozen!
But why?
They quickly deduced that the pipe next to the door had ruptured.
It looks like the pipe next to it broke, and...
Water released by the rupture had hit the door and frozen instantly. Santa shoved Junpei aside and pounded against the door.
Hey, Lotus! You're out there, right? Open the door!
Dude, if it's frozen shut, she's not going to be able to open it, even from the other side. What are you talking about?
What do you want? What's going on?
The door won't open! Try opening it from that side, please!
Oh, fine. If you say so. Hold on.
Soon they could hear Lotus on the other side of the door. Then the grunting ceased and they could hear light panting as if from exertion.
It's no use. It won't budge. You've got more people in there. You figure it out.
Oh.
God damn it.
Santa was shaking like a newborn deer. June was hugging herself and was shivering violently. Even Junpei, with the heaviest clothes of any of them, was clearly feeling the cold. With every breath they took, they could feel the cold working its way deeper and deeper into their bodies.
Anyway, let's find a way out. If we don't get moving, we're gonna be permanent residents.
Two heads are better than none. I'm sure we'll figure
There's three of you,
something out.
June.
Yeah, you're right. Well, let's just take a good look around this room, okay?
Right.
They pulled in close to one another and began to search. Shoo! Junpei picked up the dry ice with his sleeve so as to avoid burning himself.
Dry ice is just frozen carbon dioxide, right?
Yeah, it is.
I wonder how warm it has to get for it to turn back into gas again.
Hell if I know. How is that gonna help us anyway?
Oh, well, I figured we might be able to use it to get out of here.
They were about to move on when June spoke up.
Carbon dioxide sublimation point is negative 109 degrees. Any warmer than that, and it'll turn into gas. Any lower, and it becomes a solid.
Junpei looked at her dumbfounded.
Oh, how do you know that?
Despite my looks, I'm the clean... the queen of random knowledge.
Looks bad to mess up when you're showing off. Oh, you're so cold your mouth's going numb?
Yeah, that's right.
You're just doing that on purpose, aren't you?
June giggled and did her best to hide her guilt. At least she was still feeling good enough to joke around. Junpei told himself, Santa is dying.
Come on, guys. Don't you think that's kind of weird? I wonder why it doesn't turn into a liquid first.
Santa was now shivering at his standing rate, but his curiosity seemed unaffected. Junpei. It does seem rather odd.
It is kind of weird.
But it can turn into a liquid. Carbon dioxide turns to liquid if you put it under high enough pressure. But at 1 atmosphere, normal air pressure...
It won't turn into a liquid, right?
That's right. Instead of melting, it'll do what's called sublimating and change immediately from a solid state to a gaseous one.
See, that is weird. Water's a liquid between 32 degrees and 212 degrees. So why isn't that the case for carbon dioxide?
Actually, Santa, rookie mistake. I know, a lot of people make this one. Water's a liquid between 0 degrees and 100 degrees. So just a bit of a correction for you there. Don't know what the game makers were thinking with this one. June replied with an answer that stunned both of them.
There's a kind of ice that doesn't turn into liquid when it goes above 32 degrees.
Huh?
I heard about it. Its melting point is 96 degrees.
Ice with a melting point of 96 degrees?
You mean there's water that freezes at 96 degrees?
Yeah, well, you could also look at it as ice that won't melt until it's 96 degrees.
Water that freezes at 96 degrees, ice that won't melt until it's 96 degrees. Junpei was cold as hell, but this was too interesting to ignore. He did his best to warm up by rubbing his arms and stamping his feet, then put the question to June.
So what's this ice with a melting point of 96 degrees called?
I heard it's called Ice 9.
Ice 9?
Originally, Ice 9 was a made-up substance invented by a science fiction author. But recently, scientists have discovered that such a substance actually exists.
Wait, hold up. So is this thing called Ice 9, or is it water?
Hold on, I may have heard of this before, and like with everything else, it's fake. Although I may be thinking of a different made-up substance where they like tried to make like water 2 or something. They're like it's got these properties, but they couldn't replicate the properties after cleaning the pipes. It was pretty cool.
Like I said, if the ice is over 96 degrees, it'll be liquid. If it's under that, it'll solidify. So you could think of it as a polymorph of H2O. Here, think of it like diamonds and graphite. They're both made of carbon, right? But depending on the structure of the crystallization, the hardness and structure are completely different.
I love this music playing. It is like good for people freezing to death, but they're literally explaining carbon.
So you're saying normal water and this Ice 9 are like that?
Yep. Have you heard the story
hold on,
about
Mom.
the crystallization of glycerin?
Hold on, everyone. Let me. How do I make it so it doesn't work? Okay. Be right back, guys. Check, mic check, 1 2 1 2. Okay, that should be good. Sorry about that. I got jump scared by my mum. So back to the crystallization of glycerin.
For 150 years after the discovery of glycerin, people cooled it, warmed it. They did all sorts of things to it. But whatever they did, it never crystallized. However, one day in 1920, some glycerin on its way to England by ship was discovered to have crystallized during the trip. Scientists around the world wanted to research this new crystallized form of glycerin and asked for seeds. Oh, a seed is a sample of the original crystallized substance. With a seed crystal, further crystallization of glycerin would be easy. However, something very strange happened. Not only did the glycerin encouraged by seed crystals begin to crystallize,
it's okay, Cheeky. My mum also came in and just was surprised that I was where I am. So you did not miss much.
even the samples nearby did, even though they were tightly sealed. And it didn't end there. After that day, it doesn't matter where in the world it is. All glycerin crystallizes naturally when cooled to less than 64 degrees. Before that day, no matter how glycerin was cooled, it refused to crystallize.
I choose to believe that this is true.
But once the crystallization had begun, it was almost like... how do I put it? It was almost like all the glycerin in the world was communicating.
Right, yeah, of course.
Communicating in some way that we can't sense. And now it's happening everywhere.
Junpei is honestly impressed. It was in fact a pretty interesting story.
Wow, that's pretty interesting. But, what does that have to do with Ice 9?
To his surprise, it was Santa and not June who answered.
What she's saying is that it's a lot like Ice 9. What happened, I mean.
Dude, Santa's now entered the stage of hypothermia where you stop shivering.
A lot like? Oh, that would be bad. If water everywhere started freezing at 96 degrees, man.
It'd be the end of the world.
Junpei felt that Santa might not be treating the end of the world with a proper concern.
At any rate, we're not gonna have to worry about the end of the world unless we can get out of here pretty damn quick.
He was right. Junpei shivered.
Alright guys, I think that's enough of that. I didn't think we'd get quite this far off topic.
Let me just take a screenshot of this. Oh, whoops. Oh, can you, one of you guys take a screenshot of Santa saying this? Thank you.
I mean, I know I'm kinda at fault here, but we can't be screwing around anymore. So, Siri, I might go by the name Santa right now, but I didn't grow up in Iceland. I freaking hate the cold.
Actually, Santa, Iceland is like quite moderate temperature. It's Greenland that's very full of ice.
So let's get cracking, alright? We gotta find a way out of here.
Santa stumped off, clearly doing his best to pretend the cold wasn't affecting him.
Selfish, isn't he?
Junpei, he's freezing to death in a tank top. You guys are wearing like 5 layers. I bet Akane's got a thermal vest on. Still, Santa was right, and it was high time they got back to their search.
Ice 9 is interesting and all, but we can discuss it more once we get out of this freezer.
Junpei looked at June, nodded, and resumed his search of the room. Fuck yeah, we can eat this. Oh! Oh, I need a container. Okay. Well, let me grab one of those plates. Asshole. Do I have to use the knife to... No. Okay, but... Oh! Combine these. What? What the fuck? Hello? How did that work? But the pork didn't work. Okay, that's easy. Warm water dripped from the ruptured pipe near the door.
Put water into the bottle with dry ice, and make sure the lid's closed. Now I just have to put this makeshift bomb on the doorknob. Alright, so,
You just need to give it a little, tap. The bottle's already about to pop. If we just throw a rock or something at it, it'll go off all on its own.
a small rock. Huh, a small rock.
Junpei looked down at the floor. Scattered across it were pieces of dry ice left over from the larger chunks he'd crushed earlier.
Alright, this ought to do the trick.
He pulled his sleeve down over his hand to keep from getting burned, and grabbed a chunk of dry ice.
Ah, some dry ice, huh? Not a bad idea.
It's a pretty good size. About as big as a pool ball.
Alright guys, stand back. Actually, we should probably hide somewhere.
You guys had probably worn Lotus as well. Both Santa and June looked at him with new concern.
Where exactly do you expect us to hide, genius?
In the
There isn't
safe.
really anywhere big enough.
In the safe.
Yeah, there is. Look, right here. We can hide in there. Come on, get inside, quick.
Guys, are you gonna warn Lotus? You gonna warn Lotus maybe? In his hand, he could feel the chill of the frozen carbon dioxide even through his sleeve. He tightened his grip, took aim, and prepared to throw.
Alright, here I go. 3, 4, 5.
You're counting the wrong way.
Oh, oops.
That is a really sad excuse for a joke, man.
Sorry, dude. Alright, for real this time. You guys ready?
Yes, whenever you're ready.
Just throw the damn thing.
Alright, here I go. 3, 2, 1.
Junpei threw the chunk of dry ice as hard as he could. With the same motion, he ducked down into the cellar with Santa and June, just as... Junpei leapt up out of the cellar and ran to the door.
Jumpy! The ice on the door! Is it gone?
Yeah, it's gone.
The blast must have shattered it.
Yes. Alright, let's see if it opens.
Junpei grabbed the knob and pushed with all his might. Lotus is dead. The door gave way easily, and all three of them tumbled out of the freezer at once.
Hooray! We're out!
June, relieved, collapsed onto the floor.
Move!
Santa shoved past Junpei and ran straight to the grill, which he immediately grabbed.
Oh, god damn it! Hot, 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 hot! Fuck!
He proceeded to kick the grill in a futile but amusing fit of rage.
Well, you did just grab the grill. What did you think would happen? Hey, where's Lotus?
Lotus is dead. It took Junpei only a moment to find her. She was sitting on the counter, idly scratching her chest.
Oh, welcome back. I was starting to get tired of waiting for you guys.
Night. Junpei's voice sounds similar because it sounds just like one of the guys in the worst voice acted game of all time. I don't remember it. I've only seen the one YouTube video of it. Cheeky can... With a great yawn, Lotus lowered herself off of the counter. Junpei clenched his teeth and walked toward her.
What were you doing?
What do you mean, what was I doing? I was waiting.
We were gonna die.
Oh, yeah? But you didn't. So everything worked out all right, didn't it?
What the hell?
Just kidding. It might not look like it, but I was really worried.
Oh, don't give me that crap.
I'm telling the truth. I mean, if you died, then I'd be in trouble too. If you died, then I'd be stuck here, and I'd die too. See? I did all I could. I even looked around to see if there was anything I could use to pry open the door. But I couldn't find anything. So, all I could do was wait. I mean, what else did you want me to do? Call the cops?
She has a point. It was true that there wasn't much she could have done, but something about her tone. Junpei gritted his teeth.
Fine. But there's one thing I have to ask you.
What's that?
You didn't close the door, did you?
What? You think I closed the door on you? Why would I do something like that? It closed on its own. I told you before, if you die, then I die too.
Yeah, I guess so.
Dude, even if she did close the door, she did not rupture the pipe. It seemed that an accident was the only explanation for the door's closure.
If she really wanted to kill us, all she had to do was bar the door from the outside. But she didn't. Well, she didn't do anything. She's only lazy, or negligent at least, not an attempted murderer.
Junpei swallowed his anger and did his best to apologize.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I doubted you.
Oh, yes, well that's all right. As long as you understand.
Lotus looked away and twirled her hair between her fingertips. His vengeance against the grill complete, Santa swaggered back toward Junpei and Lotus.
Hey, no more screwing around, you two. Break time's over. Especially for you, lady. You've just been sitting on that fat ass of yours while we were freezing to death.
How rude! I was plenty busy.
Yeah. How about you put all that energy into something besides bitching? Let's go.
Is this the grill? Okay. Okay, sharpen the knife, sharpen the knife. That's a sharpener. Grill, where's the grill? Where's the grill? Grill. C plus F plus 10. Okay, so that's really 12 plus 10 plus 15. 12 plus 10 plus 15. 5 plus 2 is 7. 37. 37. 37. Oh, fuck. Oh, right. No, because I got 10 wrong. Okay. So it's... 10 is 16? It goes to... So it's... Okay, so... 27 plus would be 42. It's somewhere around the 42 range. I don't remember exactly what number. Okay. Yay! Okay. Yay!
I think we've been here before.
A metal grate stretched from wall to wall. Beyond it were 2 elevators and the entrance to the kitchen.
The elevators are over there, so that means...
We went into the kitchen through that door and came out on this side.
That means the map was right.
Looks like.
Then let's use it to plan our next move.
Next move.
Yeah, we need to decide where to go from here, don't we?
He's right. Let's get started.
From the looks of it, there are 4 possible routes. Let's just keep it simple and call them A, B, C, and D. First, A and B.
They both seem to connect to a room that looks L-shaped.
Yeah, there were 2 doors. But they were both locked. We couldn't open them.
Now, Route C.
Oh, see you, Knight.
This goes all the way to the main staircase.
That means it's door 5, one of the numbered doors.
Then do you think we would meet up with the other 4 after this hallway?
No, I don't think we will.
Why not?
Look, there by the stairs. See how the gate is opened?
I think they left us behind because you guys got trapped in a freezer and started talking about carbon monoxide.
When we went into the kitchen, but it's open now.
They opened it.
Most likely.
And if we take Route C, we're going backwards.
That would be pointless.
Then that means...
All 4 looked at the map. They all looked at the staircase, its lazy curve leading down deeper into the ship.
Route D, then.
D it is.
Yup, Route D.
Then we're set.
They jogged down the stairs until they reached the sea deck.
Everything looks okay here.
Let's check the next deck just to be sure.
Yeah, just like I thought. D-deck is totally underwater.
Just like the bottom of the central staircase.
The water gazed back at them, its smooth surface like a great mirror.
At least the water level hasn't really changed.
Small comfort.
May as well head back to C deck.
What else is here?
There are 2 elevators over there at the top of the stairs, just like the floor above.
Hold on. These are kind of different. See? There's a card reader on the side.
Another strange mark.
Hey, look! It's Lotus's symbol.
Huh?
Huh?
See? It's the woman symbol with horns on it.
Junpei!
That seems like... Oh, ouch, 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 ouch!
Lotus has taken hold of Junpei's hair. She began to shake him violently, and he thought he had a low growl coming from her throat.
What was that about the mark again?
Nothing.
Such violence. Junpei began to wonder if she was not the devil itself. With an uncomfortable smile, June spoke up.
This is a Mercury symbol. The horns symbolize the wings on Hermes' staff.
Hermes herpes, whatever. If we can't get this thing to work, these elevators aren't going anywhere.
In other words, we need a key card with the Mercury symbol on it.
Probably.
I guess we can't get on then. Let's just disregard the elevators for now.
How about this hallway on the left?
Whoa, there's so many doors.
Damn it. If we try and search all these, the sun's gonna go down before we've done half of them.
I think the sun already set.
I have a feeling this ship is the only thing that's going to be going down anytime soon.
I wonder how much time they canonically spent in that freezer.
That's even worse.
Well, we can come back to this hallway later. Let's check the hallway on the other side, shall we?
Time to head back to the stairs.
Okay, I think I'll stop at the next puzzle bit.
And now the right hallway.
quickly they headed into it. It was approximately the same size as the alcove in front of the stairs. The hallway led to the stand, and at its end was a set of double doors.
There are doors here too. Well, I guess it's just 4 this time.
Let's open them.
All right, let's start with this one.
Junpei nodded and grabbed the one closest to him. He gave it a small tug and felt it move.
It isn't locked. I'm going to open it.
Thorter found an unlocked door. He threw it open. Junpei didn't know what to make of what he saw.
What?
He simply stood, unable to speak. The others simply stared, open-mouthed. After a few long moments, Santa managed to speak.
What the hell is this? This place is huge.
A massive room stretched out in front of them, more of a cavern than a room. Its vastness was oppressive, and it bore down on the 4 companions. It was not empty, however. The entire room was filled with lines upon lines of beds.
Oh, there are beds everywhere.
They were simple things, little more than pipe and thin mattresses.
Is this...
He had been at last able to put a name to the harsh scent that pervaded the room.
It definitely has the smell.
Could be. I see medicine cabinets and surgical tools.
Hey, look there. The 4 doors at the end.
3 of them were emblazoned with large single-digit numbers made with thick red paint.
The left door says 3. The second door is blank, but the third has a 7. And the rightmost door is 8. There's no doubt. They're numbered doors.
Why is the second door blank? That seems kind of strange, don't you think?
No point worrying about it right now. Let's see if these will open first.
Yes, that sounds like a good plan.
Junpei headed toward the doors, weaving his way between the beds. He started with door 3 on the left and moved to the right until he reached door 8. Come on, man. Why would you even bother with the numbered doors?
Oh, it's no use.
Well, of course. If it was that easy to open these doors, what would be the point of the notary game? We have to activate the red, or the numbered doors won't... Wait a minute.
What's wrong?
Look, the display on the red. There's nothing on it.
Huh?
Don't you remember? The red at the central staircase? If no one was inside, it said vacant.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But this one,
There's nothing on it.
right?
I wonder if it's broken.
Only one way to find out.
It's not responding.
All 4 took turns placing their hands over the red, but it refused to respond. They pulled at the lever, and still it did nothing. As they soon discovered, it wasn't only the red door for door 8 that was behaving strangely.
How about the red on door 7? And door 3?
None of them are working.
What does it mean?
I knew it. They're broken. Zero sure sucks at maintenance.
No, that's impossible. You really think Zero, who prepared all of this, would make such a stupid, simple mistake?
Maybe, but that doesn't explain why this thing ain't working.
It was at that moment that they heard a voice from behind them.
I believe the bottom of the device has been removed.
They spun around to see,
Snake!
but it was more than just Snake.
Ace! Clover! 7!
Although they were glad to see one another, it wasn't terribly surprising that they had. If it had been the other party who had opened the gate in front of the kitchen, it wasn't unreasonable that they'd bump into one another eventually. The rest of Snake's team, however, did look rather surprised.
How?
How did you guys... How did you end up here?
That's my line?
Perhaps we should exchange information.
After a moment of silence and surprise, everyone suddenly began to talk, desperate to exchange information. They talked about the rooms they'd been through and how they'd ended up in the same place. Of course, none of it was very useful information, but that hardly mattered. They were happy to simply see one another again. Although the level of cheer varied greatly from person to person, each one of them was wearing some manner of smile, almost as though they had already forgotten about the death of the 9th man. No, thought Junpei. Perhaps that wasn't it. Perhaps thoughts of his death were what drove them to smile at one another. Not in a morbid or hateful way, no. The 9th man had died, but they were still alive, and that was something to be happy about. A sort of simple, uncomplicated joy, Junpei thought. The joy of being alive. Still alive. He felt sorry for the 9th man, but more than anything, Junpei was just happy to be alive.
There you have it. Our half of the story.
His part finished, Ace fell silent. For a moment, Junpei was silent in thought, then he
Okay,
spoke.
let me see if I got all this straight. When you guys got here, the bases for the Reds were already gone.
And you looked all over this room, but you couldn't find anything.
So you figured that there might be something in the hallway with all the doors.
So you went and had a look?
Yeah.
And while you were looking around, you heard voices.
Uh-huh. So you followed the voices and came back here.
Indeed. And that was how we found you.
Why don't we check those 3 Reds again, just in case?
You're right. Huh. There's a long, thin gap on the bottom. I think it's a slot or something. Probably electronic.
Well, this isn't good. If the red is inactive, we can't keep going.
Well, what about that hallway over there? Isn't there anywhere else we can go?
No, there isn't. There are plenty more hospital rooms, but nothing else.
Hospital rooms. That's what's behind all those doors?
Yes. There are a number of individual rooms in addition to this large one.
There was a door at the end of the hallway, but it was locked.
There was an astrological symbol engraved near the keyhole, however. I was able to get a good feel of it. I believe it was the symbol of Jupiter.
Not again. Those goddamn things are everywhere.
I wonder what they all mean.
For a moment, everyone was silent, deep in thought.
While we're asking what things mean, what's the deal with this room? I mean, I thought this was a cruise ship, but I can't imagine a cruise ship would have a hospital like this.
Of all people, it was Seven who answered, and with calm confidence.
Well, I figure it's probably a hospital ship. Chances are it's the Gigantic.
The Gigantic?
Junpei looked confused. So did everyone else.
What is this gigantic?
Seven knit his brows for a moment, then began to explain.
The Gigantic. She was a sister ship to the Titanic, built in the early 20th century. Actually, the Titanic had 2 sister ships, and they looked exactly the same. The Gigantic was said to be one of them. They intended to make her a passenger liner like the Titanic, but World War I began soon after the ship launched. The British Navy took her over and made her a hospital ship. At some point during the war, the Gigantic was damaged by a German mine in the Aegean Sea. She ran aground afterwards, so she didn't end up sunk. What happened to her after that? One theory going around is that a man named Lord Gourdane bought her. Seemed like he'd been one of the few to survive the Titanic sinking. That trauma turned him into some kind of obsessive collector of all things related to the Titanic. Soon enough, the guy wanted the Titanic itself, which was impossible, of course. It's stuck at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. But the Gigantic wasn't. And seeing as she was identical...
So you're saying this Lord Gourdane bought this ship?
Yeah, at least I think I am.
That's impossible. No way we're in some boat that's almost 100 years old.
Pipe down, just pay attention. What, that's it? Well, have you got any proof?
Proof?
Proof that this ship is really the Gigantic.
Well, this ship's got stuff that's like the Titanic and a hospital ship. So, I just figured...
Oh, for goodness. Don't tell me that's your only reason.
No, I've got more.
Like?
Well, I mean...
Seven looked around desperately, doing anything to avoid meeting Lotus's piercing stare. He scratched his head for a moment, then gave up. Finally, he opened his mouth.
I don't know.
Lotus sighed and shook her head.
I guess your memory isn't back yet, is it?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Hey, whoa, wait a minute. Memory isn't back?
Junpei was, he felt, legitimately shocked by what seemed to be new and very important information. Everyone else, however, seemed unimpressed. In fact, they all looked at Junpei as though he had said something very strange.
Yeah.
Your point being?
He decided to revise his attitude for the next question.
Wait, was I the only one that didn't know?
Everyone nodded.
Why?
Oh, yeah, I guess I didn't tell you, huh? I told the rest of them before we ran into you on the stairs. I told them I couldn't remember a damn thing from before I woke up.
What?
Then, almost as if to save Junpei from further embarrassment, a bell began to ring from far away.
Oh, a bell.
It sounds like the clock in the main stairway.
Junpei counted each chime carefully.
10, 11, 12. Huh, 12.
It's midnight. Then we've still got 6 hours left, right?
We don't have any time to screw around. Let's get going. We gotta find the missing parts for the Reds.
These guys were in that freezer for so long.
What do you mean, find? How on earth do you propose we do that?
We've looked everywhere in this room. That only leaves one place to look.
One?
Well, not just one.
Wait. Don't tell me you mean we need to search all of the other rooms.
Don't freak out. We've already searched 4 of them.
4 rooms?
We just have to split up the rest between the 8 of us. If each of us can do 6 rooms apiece, we'll have the other 48 rooms cleared in no time.
There are 48 other rooms?
Her earlier experiences had apparently not encouraged Lotus to trust Seven. Seven scratched his head awkwardly.
Maybe.
All right.
I choose
so
to believe
everyone
that
knows
there's
which
a law
area they're
reason.
searching?
I choose to believe there's a law reason why the spoken and written dialogue did not match up whatsoever for that entire scene.
Yeah.
Yes.
Junpei was chosen to search the rooms on the starboard side, moving from the fore to aft.
We'll all meet up when the clock goes off again. How about in that room with all the beds?
Yeah. Sounds straightforward enough.
I'll shout if I find any of the components we need.
I hope we can find them within the time limit.
If we can't, then we'll just have to come up with another plan.
Dude, Snake's blind and he's gonna have to search 8 rooms by himself.
Right. Then let's do this.
The details decided, they left to begin searching. Out into the hallway they went, each to the rooms they'd been assigned. However, from far away, Junpei heard the bell ring. It did so only once. It was 1 a.m.
It's 1. I better get back to the others.
He jogged through the entrance of the large hospital room to find 6 of the others already there.
Huh?
Ace, Santa, Clover, June, Seven, and Lotus. They had gathered in front of the door number 8. Or, perhaps to be accurate, they had gathered in front of the red next to the door number 8.
What are they doing over there?
Had one of them found the missing piece?
What happened, guys?
It was June who answered him.
Jumpy, look!
She was pointing at the red. He pushed through the others until he stood in front of it. Immediately, he knew what she had meant.
Vacant?
Junpei sighed.
Come on, guys. Who was it? I thought we were supposed to yell if we found it.
Well,
Junpei wondered why she was hesitating. The others looked as confused as June, but kept their mouths shut.
What the hell? What is up with you guys?
They all know something he didn't, and Junpei wasn't about to leave things that way. Finally, Lotus frowned and spoke.
Well, that's the thing. We don't know.
You don't know?
When I got back, it was already like this. There was no one else here. That means I was the first one back, but the missing parts were already back in the red.
What? Let me see.
Junpei looked at the bottom of the red again just to make sure. The slot that had been open on the bottom was now covered with metal.
You're right. It's in there. What about the other 2?
They're the same.
Let me take a look.
Junpei quickly examined the other 2 boxes.
It's just as you said.
Satisfied that they were also repaired, but still very confused, he returned to the others.
Alright, I just want to be sure here. Nobody has any idea what the hell happened here, right?
Correct.
None.
Ace and June nodded silently. Seven raised his hands as if to say, "Not me," and Santa just shrugged. Only Clover lowered her head and did nothing.
Huh. Wait a minute.
That was when he noticed.
Where's Snake?
Junpei swept his eyes across the room a second time, but Snake was nowhere to be seen.
Does that mean that he found them?
I've no idea. There's nothing to suggest it. But nothing to suggest he didn't either.
I don't suppose we'll know until we can ask him in person.
Well, whatever he did or didn't do, he's pretty damn late. What the hell is he up to?
Maybe he's lost.
Yeah, well, that seems likely. Dude can't see. I don't know how he gets around in the first place.
Clover raised her head.
No! That's impossible!
Suddenly she was shouting.
Yeah, my brother's blind, but he's got really great hearing. He can get around as well as anyone who can see. So he couldn't get lost. That's impossible!
Clover had started to shake, and the knuckles of her hands had gone white. She spun around, but before she did, Junpei noticed tears welling up in her eyes.
I'm gonna go look for him!
The words were barely out of her mouth when she began to run.
Hey, hold on, Clover. Wait!
Junpei cried out to her, but he was too slow. She kept going, and before anyone else could react, she was gone.
Well, that didn't work. Damn it. What should we do now?
Well, the red is working now.
No! We're not leaving two people behind! We should go look for them!
Oh, man. This ain't good.
Oh, yes, what an excellent idea. We just wasted a bunch of time looking for some piece of electronic junk. Now let's waste some more by looking for a couple of idiots.
We wasted more time in the freezer, let's be real.
Then remain here if you feel you must, but there's no time. We've only 5 hours left.
Junpei and the others nodded to one another and took off at a run. In front of the stairs that led to B deck, they decided to split up.
Let's split up.
All right, I'll take this direction.
Then I shall look that way.
I'll be over here.
See you all later.
Soon only two of them were left. Those two were Junpei and June, who had been a few steps behind the others.
Alright, we should go too.
Yes, let's go, but where should we...
Let's see.
Let's try... the hallway with all the rooms.
We should go check out that hallway with all the rooms.
Okay, let's go, Jumpy.
They turned around and took off down the hallway to their left.
Oh!
Hey, Snake! Where are you? Answer me if you're there!
What should Junpei do? I think Ace can handle
Why
it.
don't we just leave this area?
I don't mind, but
Well, let's...
Let's double check the large hospital
Why don't we go
room.
back to the big hospital room?
okay.
Hey, wait.
Oh, Santa's just standing there. Okay.
Santa! I doubt we'd learn anything.
Jumpy?
No, nothing.
Oh man, I probably missed out some good dialogue. Casino.
Let's go take a look around the casino.
Okay.
Hey, what do you...
Isn't it obvious?
I'm just not seeing it.
Really? Maybe you need to look harder.
I don't think that's the problem.
Oh, by the way, I've got a proposal for you.
What is it?
Well, I don't like to beat around the bush, so I'll get right. Why don't we team up?
Team up.
Yeah. What? I'm saying, why don't we go through a numbered door?
Even if we wanted to, that's
Why?
Jumpy's bracelet number is 5, mine is 6, and yours is 8. Our digital root would be 1. But there's no number 1. The only doors there are...
Then we add another person.
Huh?
Who?
What? Isn't that easy? 7.
Oh, 5 plus 6 plus 8. The digital root of 20... Wait a minute. What about the other Ace, Snake, Santa?
Well, why don't you add them up?
1 plus 2 and 1 plus 0 equal the digital root for those.
That's right.
And you know the number.
Of course I know.
No!
No, I'm not
course
leaving
not.
these guys behind.
Kind of. Once we get off the ship, then we wouldn't really be leaving them behind.
Don't try to lie to us. I don't think you do anything of the sort.
Really? Why do you think that?
You remember, don't you? We have, even if we manage, there's no way we could come back to rescue them in less than 5 hours.
Well, you never know until you try.
No, you're not thinking. Even if we brought 7 with us, the 4 of us couldn't open door 9. It is hidden. Seek a way out.
Yeah, that's right. The digital root for the 4 of us would be 8, so we'd have to add Ace to make...
That's right. Unless we bring Ace too, we'll be stuck.
Look, Lotus scratched the back of her ear.
What?
Unfortunate.
She didn't sound particularly bothered by what Junpei said, nor did she seem particularly surprised.
Well, let's try and a way to get out of here.
That's impossible. Are you being serious? And you do know that only 5 people, at most, can go. The number 9 isn't going to be an exception to that rule.
Huh?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
The moment he said it, Junpei felt a chill run down his spine.
Wait just a second. You're skipping over a really big detail. Is that really? That means 3 people. That's just...
Lotus's forehead
I
furrowed.
think I could have a moment alone. There are some things I need to think about.
Junpei and June turned and began walking away from Lotus.
That didn't turn out to be...
Yeah. Well, regardless,
So he forced himself to smile and turn to June.
let's just focus on finding Snake for now, okay?
Yes, we can think about those other things later.
Yeah.
Junpei nodded.
All right. Let's go take a look at the first-class cabin.
They turned around and took off down the hallway to their left. Listen. I thought that if I talked to someone, I'd be stuck in going down their route. But then, listen. Clover! Yeah, let me just leave Clover alone. It's not like we were looking for her or anything.
Are you alright?
He did his best to sound friendly, but Clover didn't respond.
Look, I know you're really worried, but...
He could think of no words to say that didn't sound hollow and fake. Junpei hesitated. Clover was so consumed by worry and fear that Junpei feared it would crush her. Her actions didn't surprise him. She had suddenly lost her brother, who she seemed to have been very close to.
Alone.
Her voice was thin and barely audible.
Alone.
Hmm?
Alone. I said leave me alone!
Suddenly she was screaming.
You're so annoying! Just go away and leave me alone! Just looking at you guys is pissing me off! Go away, okay? Just go somewhere else! Stop bothering me!
Junpei was taken aback. Such anger and hate. June's eyes had gone wide with surprise as well.
Why are you still here? Did you hear me? Huh? Fine, forget it. If you aren't gonna leave, then I'll just...
Alright. Let's go, June.
Yeah.
They turned and left Clover. As they did, Junpei glanced back over his shoulder to see Clover wiping tears from her face. Clover had driven home the misery of their situation, but Junpei had told himself that getting depressed would get him nowhere but depressed.
We really need to find Snake, for Clover's sake.
He did his best to push away the misery and depression and forced a smile.
So, where do you think we should go next?
Let's talk to
Let's
Santa.
head back to the large hospital room.
All right, that's
I don't think anyone is here.
Where the fuck did Santa go?
Let's go have a look at the hall with all the...
I'll go wherever you do. Let's go.
They quickened their pace and headed for the bow. Dude, Santa died!
Oh.
nobody's here. Let's look somewhere else.
But where?
Let's go take a look around the
Okay, let's...
Let's try somewhere else. Let's go back downstairs. Oh, nobody's here. Let's look somewhere else.
But where?
Why don't we go back to the big...
Okay, let's...
Okay, so everyone
I
is
don't think
gone.
anyone is...
They looked everywhere they could think of, but Snake was nowhere to be found.
Snake hasn't been anywhere we've searched.
Lotus looked around at 6 frustrated faces and spoke.
And we can't keep looking for him. Wherever he is, it's not here. We need to get moving.
Junpei couldn't disagree with what she was saying. Snake seemed to have completely disappeared. There was no point to wasting any more time. The others seemed to be having similar thoughts, but they stayed silent. Finally, 7 spoke.
We don't got a choice. Lotus is right. We're not gonna find Snake. There's a problem, though. We've got to figure out who's gonna go through which door.
Yes, I have a proposal.
She walked back and forth across the floor, her heels clicking against the wood. Finally, she stopped.
Why don't we decide on one person to sacrifice?
Sacrifice?
Well, perhaps that's a bit of a harsh word, but yes. You've all figured it out by now, haven't you? We can't all make it through those doors. If we split into 2 teams of 4 and 3 people respectively, then 3 people will be left behind. If we split into 2 teams of 5 and 2 people respectively, then 2 people will be left behind. But if we split into 2 groups of 3 and leave 1 person out, then only 1 person will be left behind.
Leaving behind 3 people with 2 teams of 4 and 3. I mean, there's 3 doors.
Wait a minute. 2 people get left behind if we split into 5, and 1 person is left behind if we... I got that part. You can't go... But if we split into 4 and 3, then why do 3 people have to be left behind?
Just run the numbers. Let's say we go through door 7 with 1, 4, 5, 6. Who's left over?
That would be 3, 7, 8.
And what's the digital root for that?
3 plus 7 plus 8.
Exactly. That means 3, 7, 8. That was just an example, of course. There are a lot of different combinations, but the result will always be the same. It doesn't matter which 4 it is. The 3 that are left over can't go through any of the doors. Go ahead and calculate it if you have the time. You'll see. Anyway, that's how it is. Now, if we can get back to my proposal, we only have to sacrifice 1 person if we split into 3, 3, and 1.
When 7 spoke, his voice was strained.
Then... you're saying we gotta decide who's gonna stay behind.
Yes, we do. Given our circumstances, it's logically and morally the best solution. If the other 6 are to survive, then 1 person has to sacrifice themselves.
You see, Junpei, the trolley problem is...
No, that's too cruel!
What's so cruel about it?
To just sacrifice someone like that?
Then what's your plan? Maybe we should sacrifice 2 people instead of just 1.
That's not what I meant! We shouldn't sacrifice anyone!
I told you, that's impossible. Wake up!
Whoa, whoa, calm down, you 2.
Santa stepped between Lotus and June.
Look, what Lotus is trying to say is, you should aim to bring the greatest amount of happiness to the greatest amount of people, right?
Exactly. That's how democracy works. And for that reason, I think the only fair way to decide who will be sacrificed is through a vote. What do you think?
No! That's terrible!
Dude,
I'm
I
not
think the
asking you.
fairest way
Shut
would
up.
be through random lottery.
What about you, Santa?
Me? Oh, I agree, I guess.
All right, that's 1 vote for. Counting mine, that's 2. 7.
I can't say I agree with you. We don't exactly have a choice. If we don't do something, we're all gonna die.
Huh, glad to see you get it. If I can get 1 more vote, then it's decided. What about you, Clover?
Clover had moved away from the group and was sitting on one of the beds. Her whole body dropped. Junpei didn't know if she'd even heard Lotus's proposal.
Hey, Clover.
Lotus walked over to Clover and gently laid a hand on her shoulder.
Your brother has to be behind one of the numbered doors.
No, he can't be behind one of the numbered doors. He has to be on this side of them because he's one person. He couldn't go through them. He's just like locked in a cupboard somewhere or something.
We've searched everywhere, but we didn't find him. Doesn't that mean he has to have gone through one of them somehow?
Yeah, everyone's gonna vote for Lotus. Clover slowly lifted her face.
Let's go look for him together, okay? If we sacrifice one person, then we can go look for him. You agree with me, right? Okay.
Clover nodded once.
The motion carries.
Lotus spun around and walked towards Junpei.
Now, let's start a vote to...
Hold on a second. The audio has suddenly cut out. Epic. Really epic. Oops. Okay, so I'm gonna leave here because the audio for the game has cut out. So I guess this is a cliffhanger. So I guess we'll find out later who's getting sacrificed. Thank you everyone for showing up. Bye. Oh, Jesus.